You've been training in the gym for many years, but you still look mid. Now, this is an incredibly frustrating situation to be in, and one that I know really well, okay? This is me 3.5 years into my lifting journey. Looking pretty damn mid, if I must say so myself. Now, having navigated this for north of 10 years now, I know exactly the reason as to why this occurs. And it comes down to body composition. If we flesh out what body composition is, it essentially is the balance between muscle tissue and fat tissue. So if we're struggling to improve our body composition, despite busting balls in the gym for many years, we are struggling to either add muscle tissue or lose body fat tissue. Often both. Now, what we need to do is understand the reasons as to why we struggle to add the muscle tissue or lose the body fat tissue. So the first reason as to why you may be in this situation can simply be down to your health. Now, this is not a consideration most guys factor in, but one that is absolutely imperative. When I look back at when I struggled to improve my body composition, I was not healthy. And an unhealthy body is an unresponsive body. So foundationally speaking, we need 4 things in place to ensure that health is good enough to facilitate this body composition improvement process. So number 1, we need to ensure the body has low amounts of inflammation. Number 2, we need to have a well-regulated nervous system. Number 3, we need to have good vitamin and mineral status. And number 4, we need to have good gut function. Without all of these 4 things in place, we're gonna really struggle to accumulate new muscle tissue and or lose body fat tissue. Now, if there's one thing from a health perspective that I would do, if I could go back in time, and I'm going to advise you to do the same, is run a full comprehensive blood panel, something like this. The reason why this is going to be so useful is because number 1, it's going to allow you to rule out health being a limiting factor in this situation in the first place. And number 2, it's going to allow you to identify physiologically inside the body what's going on, so you can drop shoulder into rectifying any markers that are out. So this is going to allow you to boost health and therefore make this body composition improvement process a lot more fluid for you. Okay, so reason number 2, this is training. And I'm specifically talking about consistency and the degree of accuracy within your training. So consistency, super obvious. Are you hitting it hard for 2 weeks and then falling off for 1? 2 weeks on, 1 week off. This is not going to allow you to build an awesome rig. You're going to stay looking mid. Now, in terms of accuracy, this comes down to the way in which you execute your exercises within your training split. So to give you an example, I'm going to roll through this prone cable preacher curl. So you'll see a lot of guys doing an exercise similar to this, not this exact exercise necessarily, but it'll just be a case of them getting into the exercise and slugging weight about with not much thought around what they're doing. Now, if we're going to train accurately and provide the body with the best stimulus possible to drive adaptation, which is what we're after, by accumulating new muscle, this is what I would deem to be better form. So a real stretch, initiate with the working muscle, in this case being the bicep, curl into a peak contraction, relatively slow negative, controlled, stretch, initiate with the working muscle, peak contraction. So as you can see, training in this more strict fashion is going to allow you to, like I said, provide the body with a better stimulus. The better the stimulus, the more likelihood the adaptation is to occur. So training needs to be accurate, it needs to be intense, and it also needs to be progressive in obviously the relevant phases such as a push. In a diet, you're going to struggle to progress your training when body weight descends. But training really needs to be dialed in if you are to elevate your current rig to what is mid to elite looking. Reason number 3, nutrition. Exactly the same as training, consistency and execution. Are you actually being consistent Monday to Sunday? Or is it a Monday to Friday gig, and then as soon as the weekend rolls around, shit hits the fan? And then in regards to execution, do you actually know your calories? Do you know your macros? Are you tracking your nutrition? And more importantly, are you adjusting it on a weekly basis relative to the scale response in the phase that you are in? A lot of times, guys are just eating clean and hoping for the best. Unfortunately, eating clean alone is not enough. We also need precision. Now, if nutrition is something you're struggling with, I really recommend you to download the free guide that's in the description. It's going to tell you exactly how many calories you need to be eating on a daily basis, also what foods to include and avoid when you are devising your own nutritional setup, so you can actually start to maximize progress. Now, reason number 4 is sleep. You cannot out-train shitty sleep. And everything that you're chasing, which is new muscle tissue, leanness, aesthetics, all comes down to recovery, which is largely driven by sleep. So if you're skipping deep sleep, your body's going to be running on stress hormones, which means cortisol is going to be up, testosterone is going to be down, and as a whole, your system's going to be inflamed, which makes it very difficult to add muscle tissue and lose body fat tissue. And this is a very likely reason as to why you look mid, because your body's never getting the green light to actually grow and repair itself. So reason number 5 is because you're likely not rolling rolling through the process with something called a roadmap. So what ends up happening is you diet down, you feel small, so then you ascend back up the scale. You ascend up the scale, but then you feel soft, so then you descend back down the scale again. And you end up getting caught in this loop and not really making real progress. So what I like to do to put a stop to this for both myself and my coaching clients is deploy something called phase periodization, which is basically where you roll through different phases to get to the long-term physique goal. So for example, this can look like a diet, a push to accumulate new muscle, a mini diet to tidy up having just pushed, another push to absolutely accumulate new muscle tissue, a set point to embed the new muscle you've gained in the 2 push phases, and then a formal diet to reveal what's been built. Rolling through the process like this is how you make significant leaps forward to the long-term physique goal. It's not a case of going in a phase and then jumping out whenever you feel uncomfortable. You need to actually see each of the phases through. Okay, so there we have it. Hopefully this helps. I am confident that these are the reasons as to why you unfortunately still look mid after years of training in the gym. No structure, or certainly if you do have structure, a lack of it. So dial in the roadmap, dial in the training, nutrition and health, and I'm telling you, combine all of this and just be patient, and you looking mid will be a thing of the past. Now, if you're one of the guys that's genuinely sick of being in this situation and you're ready to make significant improvements to your body shape, my brand new 6-week Ascend program is built for you. This is an initiation style coaching program where we work together closely one-to-one for a short period of time so you can feel out the process to see if it's a fit for you long term. In this program, guesswork is a thing of the past. You're gonna know exactly what you need to do from a nutrition, training and health perspective, both inside and outside of the gym, so we can make fast progress toward your goal. Now, if you want the details to the program, simply head over to my coaching Instagram page, drop me a message with the word coaching, and I will ping over all the information to see if we're aligned. Okay, my man, thank you very much for watching. I wish you the best of luck.